Hello everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to be looking at the August Spellbinders Small Die of the Month kit. So this is what's included. I'm going to show you close up after I cut everything out. But I wanted to show you this was a traditional holiday card that I made with some of the dies from the set. But this video is all about transparency and full disclosure. So I'll get into that in just a second. Right here I have cut out everything, as you can see. I love that you get a little alphabet set. It's so small, you can really make a full sentiment with this alphabet set. I know sometimes with the larger ones, it's hard to fit a full thought onto a card. So that's nice. And then you get these other, which I would have to assume, ornaments and a snowflake. So you might be curious about the title of this video, and quite honestly, I just really wasn't in the Christmas mood at the moment. So that's why I kind of jumped outside the box. This is my Prizm die cutting machine from Spellbinders. It's pretty much the tiny one that you have on your desktop, that you can keep on your desktop. And I love it. It doesn't move around this much if you're on a glass surface and you lock it down, or a smoother surface, I guess I should say, not a glass surface, because my cutting mat is kind of uneven. But then I just want to show you this real quick for this snowflake. This little tool here with the rolly thing and the sponge underneath, there's an official name for it, of course. That's awesome to get stuff out of your intricate dies. So FYI, if you don't have one, you have issues, that helps. Here's an alcohol background that I did. So this is where this whole video takes a turn. Like, why would I be pulling out a rainbow alcohol inked background? Well, if you saw the thumbnail of this video, you know that we are going all the way outside the box on these dies. So what I did was, I'm going to walk you through this first card that I made. We are going to take a journey together because the card idea started off good, and then I just kept making mistake after mistake, and then I just pretty much started over. But I'm going to keep the first part in because when I fix it, it looks the same. So here I'm taking some watercolor cardstock, and I am going to use some of this broken china, and I'm just going to use my blending buddy brush from Trinity stamps. I like these, have a flat back. Well, most of them have a flat back, but on this one, they have a little cover for the tip of the brush, and there's a line, I put my washi tape on there to color coordinate, and you can see it when it's in its little house thing. So anyway, I'm going to take then some other Distress Oxide ink. Which one? I think that was Peacock Feathers. And I realized you'll see a little bit of a difference in the second card that I made when I fix my mistakes, because I used Cracked Pistachio, which is a lot more of a sea green color. This was very close to each other, the broken china and the Peacock Feathers. But I did try to make it pretty dark on the bottom of that. This is not a full scene. This is just kind of taking up real estate on the middle of my watercolor cardstock. I'm going to take out this right here and use it as a stencil. And you can hand draw this if you don't have anything to put down or a die. And you can just hand draw and then cut it out. And I'm going to take some blueprint sketch and just kind of touch the very top of it, and then shift my stencil back and forth. And I'm going to get this really fun little wave look right there. Now this was a very simple technique to do. This didn't really take much effort. When I was thinking about what I wanted to add to the card, that's when I got a little bit nervous, because in my mind, I was thinking, I think I'm going to hand draw on this card, which, I don't know, I've never done. Like, ever, really, have I hand drawn something to make it look like it's an actual object. And so I went for it. Of course, I practiced on a different piece of paper first, just to see if I was capable. But I took out some green Distress Oxide ink. I think this one is the dark green, the Meadows. I'll have them listed. But then also some of this forest green, whatever that one is. So I am just flicking my water brush, and I'm basically watercoloring, and then I'm going to put in a little bit of grass. Now the contrast of the two colors does make it fun and makes it interesting. So I would recommend, if you're going to try this, that is nice. Also, when I'm mixing with the other blues in there, it's giving yet another hue. So it was really fun to try. It was something I have never done before, but I thought, why not go for it? I can assure you all though, as I'm putting this idea in this card together, I was thinking in my head, people watching this video are probably going to think I'm drinking or something, because this is not at all what these dies were intended for. But you know, sometimes you gotta stretch your supplies. So like I said, out of the box, I'm going to take some shimmer spray and I'm going to just dab that on. I love the watercolor, or excuse me, the water reactive technique, but I love to do it with shimmer spray because then you get a sparkle on your paper when you are pulling up that ink or the liquid. So I'm going to just take my paper towel, and there we have, it looks a little bit more like an ocean scene. So the next thing I'm going to do is I hand drew with a pencil on some other alcohol backgrounds that I had this die, and then I just fussy cut it out. I die cut this out of the really colorful alcohol background, and I'm just going to place that so that the background isn't see-through into the card. I took some of those alphabet dies and a heart I had in my stash and just put I love you. Now this is where it gets squirrely. So obviously I'm going to turn these ornaments on their side and make them fish. So, you know, that's just what we're doing today. Second thing is I did the I and the I love you off center, and it was bugging me so bad. So I thought, hey, bring in more hearts and then you'll be able to kind of offset it. Didn't work. So then I pulled up the I, but it ripped my paper. And so then I was like, we'll move the I over and then we'll just put something there to cover that white. Maybe some drops of water. No, let's do Oxide ink, because surely that's going to blend beautifully with the fade out look that I have. Yeah, this is not going well. So I looked at it. I think I like stood over my desk and just kind of put my head in my hands. Like, most of the time I can pull one out. Then I added an egregious amount of crystal glaze, so much that two of them got really attracted to each other and became one blob. So here's the card. This is what we're looking at. There's so many things I do not like about this card, obviously, but I kept it in because we're all family here. So I put this aside and I said, all right, this is not something I like to do, but let's do a do-over. So here we have the card redone, and I'm just taking a sentiment from my stash and I'm going to keep it simple. And I am going to finish off this card with a couple accent pieces that are going to make this look a little bit more like what it's supposed to be in my head. Again, wasn't drinking. Okay, so I skipped on the liquid drops of anything, and I'm using actual bubble, like enamel dots for the card. I thought it was a safer choice. I'm going to take my Sakura jelly roll pen in black, and I'm going to dot the eyes to make those stand out just a little bit more. I don't know. This is what I had in my head. And then there you go. There's a close-up, and you can kind of see. But we're not done yet, because I thought, why not take one of the other ornament dies and cut off this little thing here, because this looks just like it could be a fin, right? So I am going to cut this down and make this a little fin on my little rainbow fish. No idea if this is what rainbow fish really look like, but for me, it's happening. Okay, so I am going to do that on the other one as well, and we're just going to glue those down, and now we have fins for our ornament fishes. Fishes? No, just fish. Yes, and I'm going to put it down with some Barely Art glue, and we are going to call this card Kooky Dukes and done. So thank you so much for stopping by and for hanging out with me through this journey of, yeah, that's not really what those dies are for. I appreciate you. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I will list everything I used below. Again, this is the small die of the month from Spellbinders, and I will list other items as well, so you can check that out. Don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to see more from me, and we can link up on other social media platforms. You can find those all in the Linktree link below, as well as affiliate links if you are in the market to do any shopping. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.